So I had a couple of buddies this week that asked me about fear and how do you overcome fear, or how do I overcome fear? And I shared with them that I've got a couple of things that I do whenever I feel fear, I feel anger, or resentment, or frustration, or any feeling or thought that I really don't want to have. And the first step to replacing it is to really realize that there's only one thought that we can have in our mind at a time, just one. You know, the average person, they say, the neuroscientists tell us, has over 50,000 thoughts per day, and over 90% of those thoughts are the same thoughts that we had yesterday, last week, last month, last year. But we can only hold one at a time in our mind. And so what we've got to do is we've got to replace those feelings that we don't want to have with the feelings that we do want to have. And what are those feelings? Well, it's what I like to refer to as the neon flashing sign. We need those neon flashing signs in our life to remind us of what we want, because what we want to do is we want to increase the percentage of our thoughts on what we want and decrease the percentage of thoughts on what we don't want. And that neon flashing sign is our vision. And so whenever we review our vision during the times that we're feeling or thinking things that we don't want to think or feel, then now we've got one thought in our mind, and it's not the thoughts and the feelings that we don't want to have. Now, the second step to that is to get into a feeling of thankfulness and a feeling of gratitude. Because whenever we start feeling anger, resentment, fear, what's happening is we're releasing the chemicals in our mind, the norepinephrine, the cortisol, the adrenaline that we don't want to have, and that has the negative effects on our body. Whenever we experience gratitude or thankfulness, now we're releasing the dopamine, the oxytocin, the serotonin, the endorphins, those chemicals that have a positive effect on our mind and our body. And now we're acting like our own pharmacist. We're taking charge. The third step to overcoming fear or getting rid of the thinking and the feeling that you don't want to have is, I think in the Western world we call it positive self-talk. In the Eastern world, what they would say is mantras, having a mantra, something that you repeat over and over and over. And one of the most powerful mantras that I've ever come up with, or that I've ever heard, or that's been given to me is thank you, thank you, thank you. Whenever I am feeling frustrated, I'm feeling fearful, I'm feeling anxiety or anger, resentment, any of those feelings that we really don't want to have, and I go into reviewing my vision, I go into the gratitude, and then I just start, thank you, thank you, thank you. That brings a feeling of peace over my body that just totally gets me in a completely different state. So I hope that these three things, these three ideas will help you, and I hope that you can share it so that you can help others. Good luck and Godspeed.